Hi folks, welcome back to Band in a Box Revealed. I'm Brian and I hope you're feeling creative. Today we're going to put the finishing touches to my song Healing of Love, which we started in the last episode. Now if you haven't watched the last episode, it's called Breathing New Life into Old Songs, and I highly recommend that you have a look at that episode before watching this one. If you want this episode to make any sense, that is. Okay, what are we going to do today? As I say, we're going to put the finishing touches on my song. That involves a little bit of electric guitar, a lead guitar, and some strings. And yes, then what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to sing it. Although you won't see that part. That all happens behind the scenes because it's too mundane to record and show you. So perhaps one of these days I'll make a video for the song, but that's not important today. Then we're going to send it off to Mr. Brian Richards, who is an audio engineer and an extraordinary person. He's going to mix and master the song for us. And then we're going to just have a listen to the result together, go through the song and see what we think. All right, let's get started. Like and subscribe. Hi folks, and welcome back to the Band in a Box interface. But in the last episode, we put our chord structure together and started populating the arrangement with instruments. And I think the last thing we got to was guitar 3, which is an electric guitar with a little bit of fuzz going on in there. So let's just play a little bit from just before that electric guitar kicks in, and we'll have a listen. Now this is the section where the lead break is going to kick in here from bar 66. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the bars that I want the lead break to actually go on to. We're going to come up here to soloist, right click. We'll come to select real tracks and I'll select the best soloist. It's already on guitar here, and given the sound of that electric guitar that we just had a moment ago, we'll try and pick something that sounds very similar to that for our lead break solo. So let's have a listen to a couple of solos, and we want them to be around 100 tempo wise and EV16 hopefully, so that's even 16s at around about 100. There's a couple here, EV16 at 100. Yes, actually that wasn't a soloist. I neglected to type soloist up here, so let's go ahead and do that. Solo. Okay, let's have a listen to the very first one here, Brent, even 16s. Oh yeah. That sounds very similar to the electric guitar that I've already got in my song, so I'm just going to go ahead and say yes to that. So let's say yes. Now that has changed from soloist to guitar 3. Is that correct? Anyway, yes it is. Let's go ahead and produce a solo on those on the selected region. So regenerate parts of real tracks on selected region. Here we go. Okay, there's a bit of a stumpy ending there, but I'll sort that out a bit later on. That can easily be fixed. So I don't want to spend too much time on this because in actual fact I have already gone right through all of this, put it all together. I've actually put my vocals in and have a finished product already. So, but I just wanted to show you something of what I went through to get there. So I'm going to come up here. I want some strings to kick in here. So I'm going to go to Utility 2. I'm going to select it by left clicking and then right click on it. Let's select MIDI Super Track. So let's have a look at that, and we want to select strings. Okay, and here's one that's already evens at 100. Let's have a listen to that. I see no problem at all there. So let's select those strings. Add this to Utility 2. Yes. So here we have strings. Let's go ahead and put those strings right through the song here till just before the end. And let's select those strings and generate on that part. Once again, generate on the selected regions, and here we go. Oh, what is it asking me to do here? There is no real tracks. Would you like to select one? No, I want to use the strings. Alright, so what I'm going to do is simply generate these strings and then use the bar section to block it where I don't want it and allow it where I do want it to play. So let's go ahead and do that. Everything else is frozen. So these parts are all locked in place: the bass, the guitar, drums, guitar 2, guitar 4 and 3. So strings, you'll notice no snowflake there, so they will be generated. So let's just go ahead and generate. Okay, so we're going to go to bar 1 here, and then we'll right click on bar 1, come down to bar settings, and for these strings we want to mute them straight away. So let's mute them, and then I actually quite liked it in the intro there, so let's unmute there. Strings back to normal, and then when I start the actual singing, I want those strings gone again, so let's mute the strings here at bar 14. Okay, let's apply all that and have a listen to how that sounds. So we'll just go from here, from bar 3. Okay, so that's all very nice, and there's a couple of other places in the song that I want those strings to go on, but for now let's just put them right through here to the end. That'll do nicely. Oh, actually, we have to just go to bar 87, excuse me, right click, bar settings, strings, back to normal. Apply, and let's have a listen to the last few bars before they kick in. Right, for some reason that's happened there. Let's go through and find out why. Okay, so that's where my vocal starts. That's good. I'm not sure why those strings are in at this point. Okay, that's all fine. That's all fine. It's all fine over the lead break. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, so those strings are kicking in here, so let's come in here and make sure they're muted. Mute strings. And then unmute them here, where they're back to normal. That's all there already. Good, so let's try that again from here. Okay, the strings will kick in along with the electric guitar. So as you can see, that's become quite a huge, big sounding ending, which I'm very happy with. So that goes through to the end of the song. Okay, now on this song, I'm going to try something that I've never actually experienced before, and that is to send off the stems of the song to a fellow who's going to mix and master for me. And so his name is Brian Richards, and he's part of our Band in a Box friendly community of folks that communicate with each other, help each other out online here. So in order for me to get all the stems to him, what we're going to do is come up here to Wave, and we're going to export song as file. Now when I do that, okay, it's going to be a wave. It's going to be 24-bit, which is nice. It's going to be 44.1. Normalize the mix. Well, there will be one stereo track in there that's called mix, and yeah, why not normalize it? But otherwise we want one file per track, yes. And we can include the mix or disclude it. Normalize the individual tracks. I said yes to this. Individual tracks, flat and dry and center. Now this is very important when you're sending off your stems to be mixed and mastered by an engineer, because they're going to want to add their own effects and be able to pan various tracks in whatever they see fit. Include the 2-bar lead in, yes. Include the drum lead in, yes. So this means that each individual track will be able to be put into a DAW, and they will automatically line up straight away. Then we're just going to click render. Now I've already done this. Let's have a look here. So this is what I'm going to send to Brian Richards. It's a whole bunch of tracks. Okay. Now there's one other thing that I should mention at this point that I did go ahead and do. At the beginning of the song, you're aware we have these hits here at the end of the intro. Let's just play them. Now I want a drum, I want a kick, I want splash cymbal and I want to lead into the song with a snare drum. Now, unfortunately, I have no idea whether I can program Band in a Box to achieve this for me or not. So what I've gone ahead and done is recorded the kick, the splash, and the snare by plugging in my keyboard and using the sounds that I have available to me there. And when I sent it off to Brian, he replaced those sounds with the Band in a Box drums that he sampled. He's very familiar with Band in a Box, and so that makes life very much easier. So, okay, look, why don't we go ahead and have a little bit of a listen to the results that I got back from Brian. Let's come down to here. And this is how the song sounds. I'll play a decent amount of it for you, and I may stop it to comment here and there as I go. So let's have a bit of a listen. Now, actually, before she kicks in, I must say that I sang the main vocal, then I sung the harmonies that I wanted, and then my wife stepped in and we created her harmonies, and then I went in again at the end and sort of ad-libbed so that I could do my big freak out at the end and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, let's continue on. Listen out for the drum and snare and splash on the hold sections.
Somewhere somebody done you wrong. You've carried that too long. Can't you see what's written on the sign? Telling you now is the time. I'm talking about love. Talk about healing. Let's talk about love. Healing of love. There ain't no healing in the past of time. We don't fall for that old line. Something here's just gotta be addressed. Only one way to find any rest. I'm talking about love. Talk about healing. Let's talk about love. Healing of love.
Okay, so there you would have heard some three-part harmonies that I created with my wife, and now you'll hear what I just recorded her in three-part harmonies for this piece coming up, just like a sort of a set of three backup singers. Here she comes.
Healing of love. Healing of love. This goal set you free. Don't let the darkness hold you down. Little like I'm stealing, a spark of healing can lift you up and turn you around.
You can see how beautifully that electric guitar comes in there seamlessly and just gives it the grunt that it needs here on the bridge section.
It'll turn you round, baby.
Now at this point, we'll be singing 3-part harmony on the chorus, and also Jenny will be adding the 3-part harmony backup girl singers for the background there, and it all comes together. It sounds quite massive. Here we go.
I'm talking about love. Talk about healing. Let's talk about love. Healing of love. Healing of love. Little ray of sunshine coming through. Let's talk about love. Talk about healing. Let's talk about love. Healing of love.
All right, so look, basically it continues on there and comes to a nice clean ending. I will put a link down in the description so that you can come here to my Reverb Nation page and listen to the song yourself without my interrupting commentary, if you so desire to do that. Okay, I'll also leave Brian Richards' information on how you can contact him and have him work on a song for your good self. He does that at very reasonable rates. I mean, I have a very small income, and I found Brian to be not only endlessly patient with what I was requesting from him, but he just does a beautiful job, and at very reasonable rates, as I say. So big thumbs up to Brian Richards there for helping me out. And okay, I think that pretty much concludes today's video, and I'm looking forward to the next video when we can move on to a new song and a new production and start from scratch again. Okay, bye for now, folks.